Dari C, nomor dari all we know.
Yes. Oh yeah, so let me finish up my slides. Like we have some more slides to cover about NLP, but I will do it in 30 minutes, in 25 minutes, and then we will do it together. Sure. Okay, hope you had a refreshing break. Oh, sure. Okay, I understand that like at this moment, these concepts might be overwhelming, but that's okay. That's how you learn and grow. Again, to understand this, I'll just first understand the big picture and then deep dive into for each component. Let's do that if you do that. So first thing is, why do we need load balancer? The answer is simple. Like in order to deal with hundreds of thousands of transactions, we need scaling. That's the answer, like why we need load balancer in real life. And not almost all, but all softwares that have millions of users, millions of transactions, they are using load balancers in real life. Using load balancers or like some similar technologies. Okay? It's used in all big applications. Okay, it helps for scaling. And the big picture is there's a client. There's a client accessing to your website using load balancers, and behind your load balancer there are n number of servers. Server 1, server 2, server 3. This is the big picture. We use this load balancer for scaling. If you understand this, then now you can deep dive into each component. First, understand this, and now, okay, now let's talk about AWS. So load balancer and load balancer is ALB. Server is EC2 in the AWS cloud. Server is EC2. We all know that they all are inside VPC. Load balancer we created inside VPC. EC2 we create inside VPC. So when the users send the VPC, there are security layers. There are two layers, but one of them we don't touch. But these resources has security groups, right? It has security groups because it's in VPC, and this is defined as who can access to it. And it also has security group. So access management. Now, okay, now I'm just big picture is client, load balancer, servers. And now I'm going into details. Next thing is managing its access. Who can access the load balancer and who can access the server. So this is something we have to do upfront. The first thing we do is security groups or access control. And once we do that, so that's pretty much it on the server side. On server, we launch a web application, and in the security group, we allow access from load balancer. So basically, we are done with this component. In this component, there is much to do. So basically, now there is only one resource that you need to dig into. So that's load balancer. So what else do we have in load balancer? First thing is there are two connections here, client from load balancer and load balancer to the server. So in this number one, this connection, so in load balancer, it has three main concepts. Listener. Listener is what this first arrow is. It listens to HTTP port or HTTPS, period, nothing more in here. In here, we talk about what we talk about. The second arrow is target group. So load balancer sends requests to the servers using this target group. So they are the same target group. Target group 1, assuming that these servers are hosting the same target group 1, and then listener. So that's the big picture, and this is what we are doing. Let me talk about NLP now and demonstrate this. After that, we'll get back to this. Just in case if you need this, I can drop it on Teams so you can refer. What do we have in NLP? NLP is the same thing. So you send request and it routes the traffic to servers behind this. It doesn't have many features like listener role. It's not applicable in here, so it's even easier to learn. There's just one. It receives and it sends that. Yes.
Can you go quickly through that number?
Sure. Yeah, we can take it offline. Okay, let's take it offline. NLP. Just like an ALB with some differences. ALB features that. So here are features that ALB has, but NLP doesn't have. So those are ALB supports WebSockets, but NLP doesn't support. ALB supports authentication like OAuth, but that NLP doesn't support. NLP, what it does is it's just pass through. The advantage why we use is it provides more performance. And then also with ALB, you can send fixed response that we have seen in the listener role. And here is some differences between ALB and NLP. So ALB, it operates at layer 7, has more features. NLP, it operates at layer 4. It has high performance. It's lower performance than NLP, but it's still super performant, millions of transactions. ALB supports IP address, many resources as target, but NLP only supports IP address. And it has features such as routing rules based on this headers, path, query string, source IP. It can capture these many informations because these informations are only available at layer 7. These informations are not available at layer 4. The layer 4 is like some different format. It's format something called packets, right? Packet or different. So you cannot extract this information. So that's the reason why NLP can route to the port number directly. That's the port number. And the source IP in ALP node is, in ALP source IP is the ALP node, whereas in NLP it's the direct client IP. But you can change it. You can change it. This is default behavior. And this ALP is great for web applications, whereas NLP is great for something that you need hyper performance, such as streaming and near real-time application or database migration or something like that. And ALP has security group, so that says it's easy to whitelist this ALP in EC2, but there is no security group in NLP. So we have to do something different in here. And then that's pretty much all. So two reasons. So we debug this together. I discussed. So that's all about this slide. Let me demo what NLP, how you can create NLP. What I did is I logged into I refreshed my token, I stopped and started my lab. And then since my user data, I published this homework, but again, this user data is not working. We have seen this together. Make some changes and share it with your classmates. If that works, then share it with your classmates on Teams. But this is the idea. Like if you do this user data, then it will spin up automatically. So since that is not working, I'm here to start them manually. So that is service HTTP start. So that is okay, they are up and running. Now I'll be running the same instances inside NLP. Okay, let's go to node browsers. So this is not working because web server is not up. And then it's unhealthy. So we just started it. Now it should turn green and you should see the response. Node browser here. So currently we have ALB. Let's create NLP. So this operates at layer 4 and supports TCP and UDP. Create. Load balancer, my NLP. VPC, this very similar to ALB, there isn't. And here I will select 1H and 1B. Okay. We selected the nodes. And now we just need to create a target group. And in the target group, you can still proceed with these instances, because when you select instance, AWS is smart and they grab the IP address automatically. That's fine. But the biggest difference is, this is the main difference. It has to be TCP. If you put HTTP, then you cannot associate this target group with NLP. It will not even show up. Because HTTP is layer 7 protocol, but TCP is layer 4. Does that make sense? The creation process is very similar, but the only difference is this protocol selection. Not HTTP, but it has to be TCP. That's the only difference. And health check, you don't define any health check path because that path is not available for layer 4. So what it does is it simply checks this port 80. Anyway, okay, this is similar process. You have to select TCP. My TCP NLP target group operates at layer 4 because it's TCP. So I'm highlighting where it operates. The other target group, it's HTTP. Next, we can register server 3 and 2. Include this, and then create this. That should be it. Okay, everyone, please notice it's very similar to ALP. The only difference is here you will see TCP. This is associated. this belongs to NLB. So this belongs to ALB because it's HTTP protocol. That's basically the only difference, and it will show up the target groups, and its type is TCP. HTTP one doesn't even show up. Maybe just yeah, and that's it. That's pretty much all. And it will take some time to provision. Oh, it's unhealthy. So we started the server applications manually, and if we now check this guy works. Okay, now it's doing the round robin. ADB uses round robin by default. NLB, they have like bit different algorithm. So NLB, we'll see it. It just shows the ones who. You can cut. I added this task. Yesterday we had faculty meeting, and then during that meeting, what I noticed is like I give you every single step to do that task, and this task I'm just so basically the discussion was understanding the assignment, like its problem description is its help of the task, and I agree with that 100% because during my work interview, like I also had an interview with this tribe, and this tribe is like bit different company, so they have basically easier tasks. They give you easy tasks in the interview, but then description was longer. Like it's like this long statement, and then I was just keep reading this statement. I couldn't understand that, and it took me like 10 minutes to understand the problem itself, and then I started asking questions from the interviewer, and then like it looked from today's perspective, it looks like that interviewer problem was not that hard, but he just wanted me to understand the statement myself instead of asking questions. So yeah, that things happen. So for that reason, I just added this like during your lunch break. I added this. I just wanted to ask practice listener rules and create this, do this, do this. I tried practice this yours. There isn't much. This is the best instruction, but this is just the cue. And this is right now what we are doing. And ignore this task for now. We will do it tomorrow. We will do it. Okay. Oh, now the our NLB is running. So let's double check. So disappeared. And yours. It's 1B. Okay, I got it. Change. It looks like in the load plan, when I create load plans, I didn't select US is to 1B. Okay, this is network. And 1A and 1B. Okay, this is correct. Why is that? Oh, this is making. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You take the micro.
Okay.
Is it over for today?
Oh yeah,
Is this-
that's it.
So tomorrow we have anyone.
Tomorrow we have, yes.
I'll be
You
here.
need this.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yep. Okay. What happened to this guy? I'm out. Unhealthy. I think I got this. Do you know why are we getting this unhealthy? Yeah, idea. Okay, anyone else?
Because we have not,
We talked about, like, if it's unhealthy, then there could be two reasons, right? And I talked this. If it's unhealthy, then there are two reasons. The first one is your web app is not running. So we know for sure that it's running. The second reason is security group, right? Do you remember?
NLP doesn't have. So
Yeah, it's not NLP, but basically, NLP is making calls to web server. Let's check call. Okay. So this is NLP. So this is not. We'll talk about the security group in the if it's from client to NLP. Like in ALB security group, we define who can access to that load balancer. In our case, that's not applicable. So here, the connection is between load balancer and server. So basically, there is a load balancer, NLP, and EC2. So this is what target group is, right? This connection. It's making this call. So basically, EC2 is not allowing connection from NLP or from the internet.
So you said the security group that we configure in EC2, that's the one that makes unhealthy?
Yes. So basically, NLP is trying to make call to see if it's healthy or not. But then remember this EC2 security group, we only allow this ALP. Okay, he got that. Let me show you. This is, okay, again, this is unhealthy because of security group of the EC2 instance. NLP is making call to our server, but our server is not accepting that request. It's blocked in the security group. Okay. So server 2, so we do have only one security group here. Okay, in the inbound rule, I gave it a description that's saying allows requests from the ALB. ALB is the only one who can access, not NLP. So we have to add NLP in here so that it will be successful. So we did inbound rule. But we need to do two-step in here. So as I mentioned, if you remember in the morning, we scroll up. Currently, what EC2 is EC2 is your IP address, not NLP. So we have to do so. So currently, the source IP is your IP address. So basically, instead of client's IP address, we want to whitelist NLP IP address. So that in the attributes, you will see this preserve client IP. By default, it's on. Preserve client IP is set to false, off. And now your EC2 instance will see NLP node IP address. How do you find NLP node IP address is open up the NLP. In the NLP, you will see network mapping. That's exactly what. And in this network mapping, you will see the IP address here. So no NLP node in 1B, they receive IP address from this range. NLP node in 1A receive IP address from this range. So basically, I copy this And in my EC2 security group, I add one more role. It's same, like my web is running here. But in this case, I will do this, and this is allows requests from the NLB node 1A. Right? We have two nodes. And the other one, same thing, go back to here. This is associated 1B. I would say pass it here. This is NLP node 1B. So 1A, 1B. So NLP access allows from NLP, node A, 1B, and ALB
Why do you have two nodes?
for high availability.
First one, ALB did not create two nodes.
We did that. We did two.
Or change anything.
Oh yeah, great. Cool. Save it. Yeah, we did. Like when we create, it's the same log ones of creation wizard, and then where we selected two.
You just started.
Let's see. I think we don't need to. That's all. Which part do you want to do together? Okay, let's do this. Please launch 2 web servers that's up and running. Then we can later easily add that. So that task you guys can do it. Right? Do you want to do it together or you can do it? I think you can do it. Okay, please launch 2 web servers. Then we would go from there. Cool. It turned green, guys, by the way. So it's automatic. So I don't need to use this is an NLB. And it turned green because we allowed that. We did that setting and here. And if we look at NLB, this URL is here. We will see the same response. NLB. Okay.